Hi all, welcome back. This is part 8 in the series of multiple videos, and this one is the last video for the series. And in this series, we will discuss about the deployment of Docker image on the AWS instance, and also how we can store Docker image on AWS ECR, that is Elastic Container Registry. Here in this video, we will not cover anything related to Kubernetes. We will just push the image to the AWS instance and AWS ECR. This video is purely based on the AWS. So let's start agenda. For this things, we need Maven installation and configuration, and Jenkins installation, then Docker installation on Jenkins. And we will create one more instance where we will run that Docker image, that is AWS instance, where we will install Docker on that new instance also. And after this installation portion has been completed, then we will configure the pipeline configuration on Jenkins, and we will install the necessary Jenkins plugins. And after that, we will configure some credentials for the Jenkins, and after that we will configure some things for ECR, Elastic Container Registry, indirectly in the AWS console, and we will use the GitHub URL for CICD pipeline. And after that, we will create a pipeline job in the Jenkins, and we will test it manually from this place. And after this testing successfully manually, then we will configure the webhook configuration for automated CI/CD pipeline. So this is the agenda for today's discussion. Let's start installation of the Maven. As I discussed earlier, we are doing all those deployment, everything on Ubuntu instance. So first we need to create this Ubuntu instance on AWS, then we will proceed from here. Let's go to AWS console and create the Ubuntu instance, right? This is the AWS management console. I will just sign into using my credentials. Now I've just logged in that AWS instance. Now I'm creating one instance in North Virginia region. Just I'm creating a launch instance. I'm selecting Ubuntu 18.04, and I'm using the free tier. Actually, we need two servers here. One server for Jenkins and another server for AWS, where we will install the Docker image, right? I just want to show you that diagram, what we are doing here. Let me show you once. Actually, we have covered in our first video. You can see here what you are planning to do when user will change something in the GitHub. it will changes will reflect in the Jenkins. Jenkins will create the var file for that using the Maven and create a Docker image using the Docker file, and that image will run on the AWS instance, right? And also same time this image will be pushed to the Amazon ECR. This is we are covering in this demo, right? So for I am creating one instance for the Jenkins installation. We will create one instance for Jenkins installation and another instance for doing this Amazon EC2, right? Where we will deploy the Docker. We will run that Docker container over here, right? So let's go and create two instances for that, right? So I am taking two instances and we'll use with default settings. Same storage. We can put the tag here. Let Jenkins, right? Security group, I'm changing it to default one because I am using all port open and just launched instance. This is our PAM file, which is stored in the download folder, and Virginia we will use earlier in this demo also. Let's wait for a few minutes. I think it will create the instance. It is creating. So meanwhile, I will just go to the PPT and I will explain it again. So we are following this process. So I'm just going back to the PPT. Here you can see we will install, first we will install the Maven. So we will go create a OPT folder on Jenkins server and create a Maven directory and give the full permission over there, and we will download the tar file using the wget command, and the tar we will use for the opening this tar file. And after that, we will configure the Maven home path and in the etc profile path, and we will refresh the profile. Then we will get the path in M2 path, right? This is the Maven installation configuration. After that, Jenkins installation, we will install the Jenkins using the command line. We will run this. First we will install the Java. Then we will, Java after JDK, we will install the Jenkins configuration, and this repository is created. Then we will install the Jenkins, this command, and after that we will check the status of Jenkins. This installation which create a Jenkins user. So we will go to this file and we will give root access to the Jenkins user using this command, right? After this Jenkins installation, we will install the Docker on Jenkins image. So we will just use this apt install docker.io command, and we will install the Docker. And after installation of Docker, we will add this Jenkins user to the Docker group. And after adding this, we will restart the Jenkins and we will check the status. Now our Jenkins server is ready to configure, right? And as we are creating the two servers, this is Jenkins server. Where we have done this Maven, Jenkins, and Docker. Now you can see here we create a new AWS instance where we will run the containers for that image, which we will create, right? So for running the container, we need to install on the server. Docker installation is required for that. After that, we need to add this user, because we will configure with the Ubuntu user, right? So Ubuntu user will run that Docker Docker container, then it needs to be added to the Docker group, right? Then after that, we restart the Jenkins server, right? And again, we will just check the status. This is the installation point is required for the both servers. So let's see whether our server is created or not. Let's see and refresh it. You can see both servers are ready. So both are, you can see is showing Jenkins. So I am renaming one server with the Docker. Docker, you can see Docker client, or we can see Docker. Okay. So here, this is two servers. I've changed the name here, so we can understand those things. So now I'm connecting with the Jenkins server first. This is the connect button. I'm copying it. I will connect with using the PEM file, and my PEM file is in a download folder, right? See, so I will go to the download folder. My PEM file is here. So I will just run this command. You can say it is connected. Now I'm taking sudo access for that. Now first, as per slide, we will install the Maven, right? So for that, we will create one, we will go to the OPT folder, right? Nothing is here, you can see, right? We will go to the OPT, create one Maven folder, right? I'm giving full rights to the Maven folder. Okay, you can see here. Let's go to the Git directory and run this command, right? Run this, we will run the wget command for getting the Maven tar file, right? See. You can see here we got the tar file. Now we are just extracting tar files. See, it is extracted and created this folder, right? This is my Maven home directory, we got it. Now we need to configure in the profile, etc profile. We have copied the home path and set to the path also. Now I am just saving it, right? Now I am refreshing it, and we will get that in echo in the command, right? You can see we got the Maven home path, right? We will configure this thing in the Jenkins server, right, later on. So we have done this thing. Now we'll start the Jenkins installation apt update. I think we didn't run so far, so I'm running it. And after that, we need to run the JDK installation. You can see that Java installation has been done. Let's check the Java version over here. Oh. Now Java 1.8 is already installed here, right? Now we will start. Oh, sorry. Right now we will start installing installation of Jenkins. We have get the key. Now we will add apt repository. Now we will update the repository. Now we will start installing of the Jenkins, right? It will take some time, so I'm pausing this video and I will come back when Jenkins will start. You can see here now Jenkins is installed already, so let's check the status. The status is showing active here, right? Now it's successfully installed, right? Now we will add this Jenkins user. In this group, so it will get the sudo access right here. Now I'm saving it. We have done. Sorry. Okay. Now we have done this installation. Now we need to install Docker on it. Just run this command. Now Docker is installing here, right? Now Docker is installed here. So let's check the version for the Docker. It's showing something 19.03. Now it's okay, right? We have done this thing, Docker on. Now we need to add Jenkins users to the Docker group. It's done. Now I'm restarting the Jenkins. Now it's done, right? We need to test the Jenkins server, but before it, I will just prepare that another AWS instance where we will run the container of that image, right? So let's log in that Docker client, right? We have already created that server. This is our Docker client server, right? So just connect. I'm using the PEM file for connecting it. It is connected successfully here. You can see here it is connected. Let's see next step. apt update we need to do here. Okay, it's done. Now we need to install Jenkins. Sorry, Docker. Yeah, it's installed. Let's check the Docker version. It is showing 19.03. Right? We can check here. Docker images, right? Okay. We don't have anything here currently. And sudo docker ps. No container is running here. There, right? You can see. Let me correct it. You can see no containers are running over there. Now, after that, we need to add Ubuntu user to the Docker group. It is added, right? Now we need to restart Jenkins server again. It is my Ubuntu server, right? Ubuntu IP, I think it is showing some confusion. So let's set the name here. It is our Docker client, right? Host name. Docker client, right? One minute. I think we need to do it. Yeah. I don't think so. It will work. Let's check. etc host name. Yeah. So here we can change it name, right? Docker client, right? I'm saving it. You can see here name is changed to Docker client. Now you can understand this stuff, right? See Docker client, this server name, and another one is Jenkins server, right? This one. This is logged with the root, right? So let's restart the server, Jenkins server from here, and check the status again. That it is working, right? Active. Now we will log in the Jenkins server using the public IP of Jenkins and 8080, right? So go to the Amazon console. And here is Jenkins server. This is public IP it is showing here, right? Just copy this public IP and we can run over here, right? In this new browser. 8080. Now it will ask for the password. Let's get the password from here. Okay, we got the password here. Let's copy and paste to here, right? And start it. Okay, it is just started without showing any plugins. So let's install plugin here. So go to our slide. Now I will explain what is a pipeline configuration for creating pipeline from Jenkins using the code from the GitHub, and we will create a var file using the Maven and using the Docker file for creating the custom Docker image for the above var file, right? After creating the Docker image, we will push Docker image to Docker Hub, and also we will then we will pull the Docker image from the Docker Hub, then deploy Docker image to AWS server. Right? Let's check these things. And we need below Jenkins plugins. We need to install Actually, first we need to install all pipeline plugins and GitHub plugins, and after that we will install these plugins, right? So let's install all pipeline plugins. So go to the manage Jenkins and manage plugins. In the available currently, I think we don't have any plugin here, right? So I am searching for the pipeline. So we need to install all the pipeline plugins because it is not installed any plugin so far, and it will take time to install the plugins. I am selecting this plugins, right? This Docker pipeline is also there, right? You can see here, this is required on our demo also, so I'm selecting here. I'm not able to going to install the Blue Ocean things. It's a different thing, right? A pipeline. So I think we have done selected all those pipeline. Just click and install without start. So you can see here lots of plugins selected from here, and we start. Installation is in progress, and it will take time to install it. Right. I think we have selected everything, so it is showing GitHub plugin also. You can see here. This Git and GitHub plugin already comes in this installation. Already installed this thing. So in this demo, we have already done this plugin, right? And also we have selected Docker plugin. You can see here, Docker plugin, Docker pipeline plugin. You can see here that is also installed. So great, we have installed at all those plugins, right? So then again, go to the manage plugins available, and you can see we need to install Maven plugins, right? This is Maven integration plugin, and Maven invoker, right? This plugin we required. So just install without restart. And after that, we need to install SSH agent. SSH agent we are using for connecting another server in the Jenkins. Because we are connecting another AWS instance with the Jenkins server, so we will connect using the SSH agent here, right? SSH agent, right? This pipeline allow you to provide SSH credential to build via SSH agent in Jenkins, right? We will use this plugin. And after that, we will use this Amazon ECR plugin also because we are pushing the image to the ECR also, right? So one plugin is still pending. This Amazon ECR, right? You can see this plugin generate Docker authentication token from the Amazon credential to access Amazon ECR, right? So I am installing this. We will use this plugins for creating the credentials in Docker pipeline, right? Sorry, in Jenkins pipeline. We have done, right? So we have completed all those plugins here, which is required for this demo. All those things we have done. Let's retry it. Yeah, after retrying, we got that username. You will create admin user here. I'm using the same password here. And my name and email address, right? I'm saving this configuration. Now my Jenkins is ready. You can see here after this, we already installed the plugins things. Now let's see next step for that. This is credential configuration. As I told earlier that we need to put this Maven home path in the Jenkins. So go to the Maven manage Jenkins and do global tool configuration here, and we will configure this Maven here, right? You can see here, we will just Maven home path we have already done. So this is the Maven. We need to give the name Maven, and same name we will use in the pipeline, right? So we have done this thing. Now we need to create a credentials. I'm explaining this thing to you first. For creating credential, for connecting the GitHub, we need to create some credential for that, right? Connecting GitHub, and for connecting to Docker Hub, we need a secret hub because we will just want to save our password for the Docker Hub, right? Now we will create a credential to connect to the AWS instance, that is a Docker client, which in that we have created. Using the ss command, we will use that thing, and we will use the username for the AWS instance. I think we are using the Ubuntu, so here you will use the Ubuntu user instead of EC2 user, right? And instant private key, we will use the PAM file. I will show you PAM file which we have used to connecting to the AWS machine from our local system. And this is the ID AWS instance we will use in the pipeline, right? All those IDs we will use in the pipeline for connection purpose, right? After connecting to this one, we will create a connection with the ECR, Elastic Container Registry. For that, we will use the SS username with private key, and again, we will use the user, and we will connect that thing using the PAM file, right? And we will use this instance to the connect with ECR, right? So let's see, let's try this thing. I think we have installed Jenkins here, right? So manage credentials. Add credentials. You can see here first it's git credentials. We have given name here. Username. This is my GitHub username and password. ID I created here. And description removing underscore, right? This is created. And second one, we need to create the Docker Hub. So we need to put only password. So I'm using the secret text here. And I'm putting the Docker Hub password. We are using ID Docker Hub, Docker underscore Hub, I think. It should be underscore. Docker underscore Hub. Okay. Let me correct here. I think it should be underscore, right? Now, next one, we need to connect with the AWS instance. So we'll create one more credential for that. And here you can see, we will select the kind SSS username with private key. You can see here, this one we are getting here. Because we have installed the SSS plugin, so we are getting this thing here. And ID, we need to add AWS underscore instance, right? And description. I think we are using the Ubuntu users. Let me check. I will show you the username. This one. See here. Who am I? This is Ubuntu, right? Ubuntu, right? If you're using another system, EC2 instance, then you can give the EC2 underscore user or any other user, which user you're using, right? And private key into directly. So I will add directly PEM key. You know that we are used PEM key in Virginia, right? So let's search in my download folder. See, this is the PEM file which I'm using for connecting that AWS machines. So I'm opening in the Edit Plus, and I'm just copying whole key, right, from here, and I'm just pasting here, right? So this is the key, and this is the name, and this is the username. Just click on OK. So we have created the three things, right? So next step, I will create this thing later on. Let's check the file because I'm able to see it saying the both ID. So we cannot create this. It is saying the same thing, right? So maybe we'll use the same instance in the both in AWS and ECR, right, for connecting it. So let's check the Jenkins file, what we have configured. So based on this, we will create the credential if required, right? So this is the ECR configuration, which we need to do first in the AWS console. So I'm going to the AWS console, right here. And here you can see ECR elastic container registry. I am opening here directly. So you can see here, get started, or here you can see, here you can see this is Amazon ECR, which is showing EKS, ECS, everything is showing here. So let's get started from here, right? So it is asking for the repository name that we need to give this name, right? I will explain later why I'm giving this name. This thing I will show you when I will explain the Jenkins file. Then I will come back again here, right? Then you can see here it is asking for the URI. I think we need to directly create. Okay. So directly you need to create the repository. After create the repository, you can see here. This is the URI you can see here. So we need this URI for connecting it, right? So I'm opening one notepad here. I'm copying this one here, right? We will check later. Currently, you can just open this one. You can see here no images are there, right? So let's go to PPT now. Here again, it is showing for that. Yeah, here is giving the correct thing. We need to create credential for the registry ECR. What is that? We need to create a kind AWS credential, right? So again, I'm going back to the Jenkins, right? And add the credentials here, right? So I will select the kind AWS credentials, right? And ID, you can see ID, I will provide this details, right? Description, same thing, right? Now it is asking for the access key ID and secret access key. What is that, right? So actually, for connecting that, we need the credential for the access key ID, that is a unique ID for the logged in user, where we can connect the resources outside the systems using the CLI, right? So I am coming back to the console here. I'm opening one more window here. You can see here, if I'm going here, it is showing my security credentials, right? I'm showing you how to get our secret ID and password, right? So go to there and it will go here, access key, right? You can see access key. This is showing my access key ID, but password is not showing because we are not able to get password at any time. When we are generating the key, that time we need to copy that user and password, or other way we can download the file and we can use in the later. Like for this key, I will show you in both way. For this key, earlier I've downloaded the file. You can see here, it is showing something like root. Let me see, search. See, this is the root key.csv file. We can download it. Let me open it. I will show you. You can see this is access key ID is AKI and BBA. Let me check. AKI BBA. This is same ID, right? You can see here. And this is access AWS secret key. This is secret key which I've downloaded here. So I need to use both things in the Jenkins here, right? But if you want to generate, don't want to use this one, so we can generate. Cancel. don't save. Okay. So let me show you. I will show you how to generate it. Just take a new access key, and we can download key file, right? We can save it, and same time we can get it, right? So I'm just copying it from the newer generated key here, and going back to here, I'm just putting here, right? Okay. Now this password I'm copying. This password, right? Now after that I can close it. It will show two password, right? Generated. It is December 11, right? It is showing last used NA because just created, right? It is active. Okay. So we can delete it from here, or we can make inactive. Both things we can do it. Got it. So we got these things right. Now I'm putting it okay. So we have done from the credential side, right? And after that, we need to use this URL where we will get the Docker file and other things. I will show you this thing also. Let's open this one. Now you can see here, we have a pipeline script for that. So let's see. I will show you the Docker file first. In Docker file, I'm not doing anything, just using the Tomcat image and copying var file to the WebS Tomcat root directory, right? Right. So we are doing in Docker file only the two steps. Let's open the script. Here I have created two scripts for that: pipeline, Docker, CICD, and ECS thing. Let's open this ECS on that. See here. This is the node, and this is the Git repository. We need to use this Git repository, and I will show you how to generate this command, right? And after next stage, we are using the Maven clean package. As you earlier told that we have created the Maven name is capital M Maven, so it is taking the command type Maven, and it is using this clean in package, right? Home path. It is taking the home path and creating the clean package, right? It is creating the build over here. After creating the build, we are creating the Docker image, build Docker image. This build is using the build command, Docker build command -d, and this is the mn2 is my Docker Hub username. So let me open it here, Docker Hub. You can see here, it is showing mn2 is my username. And when we want to push in anything in the Docker Hub, we need to push with the username, right? It is username / image name. In same fashion, we will do it. You can see here, this is my username. This is my Docker Jenkins is my image name, custom image. And this is environment.build is a build number which will generate in Jenkins, that it will come like Docker_Jenkins:1. First build, second build, it will run dynamically, right? Now, after that, after building our image, we will push the image to the Docker Hub. Then we will use the with credentials, and I will show you how to generate this thing. We will use the Docker Hub credential which we created earlier, and here we will just log in with -u username. This is username, my mn2, right? I showed you. and this is minus password which I stored in this Docker Hub credentials, right? Now after creating it will creating the connections. After creating the connection, we need to push our image to the Docker Hub, right? After pushing the Docker Hub, same time we can push our push image to the ECR also, right? So this is the ECR, this is the URL which we need to use it, right? And this is the ECR ED. This is our credentials. This is the ECR. This is our zone name, and this is the credential which we've created, right? So let's check this URL. Earlier we have copied this URL here. You can see here. I think this URL you can see here. It is same, right? No, 251. It is the same thing, right? Same URL which we've copied here. I will show you where we will get this URL. I will again show you. When we have created the repository, we got one URI, right? This URI you can see here. This URI is same as this. Sorry, here we have this same URI. We got it. See, I will copy in the notepad so you can compare it. See, right? I will just see. This is the same URI because this is our repository name. So I'm not taking repository name here. I'm taking up to only the URI, right? So this is our ECM URL, right? This one, ECR URL, right? Now for credential side, we need to use the ECR and our US East because we are using here North Virginia. North Virginia, you can see it is US East one, right? So I am using this one. If you are using different region, then you need to change this region, right? This one, we need to change it. Oh, sorry. Okay. Then this is AWS credentials. These credentials we have created earlier. I will show you here. You can see we have created this credential earlier. In the Jenkins side, you can see this credential we created, right? Now we have done this thing, and also here you can see this Docker Hub credentials. You can see here for connecting it, we have created here in this step Docker Hub. And in the Jenkins side, you can see this Docker Hub credential we have created the same name, right? And also, I just want to show you this is a Git credentials. You can see here, and same credentials name we have created here are connected to the GitHub. Right? This is 4 credentials we need to use here, right? So after passing this with registry, these 2 URLs, right? You can pass the URL directly, or you can pass as a variable. Both thing will work here. And after this docker.image, this is my image name, and pushing it here, right? Right, this image, my image.push, right? So I told you that when I will push this image to the ECS, then it will ask search for this this repository name, right? So I created the same repository over here. You just make sure that whatever name you are creating here in this Docker image, right? Same name you need to create here in the Amazon, this repository name, right? Repository name should be same, right? Because it will, when it will run, it will create a repository with the same name. It will search for the same name repository. And if we create the same name repository, then it will push the image in that repository directly, right? So keep this in mind whenever you are changing it, same name we need to create here in the ECS, right? Here, create repository as we created earlier, right? Okay. So after push image to the ECR, we need to run container on the AWS server. right? So for running the Docker image, we use the Docker run command. In -t, we need to add port, and this is the name. We are putting the name my apps in the environment, pass the build number, so it will create a my apps -123 like that. And this is the image name, which image it will create the container. This is image name we are passing here, underscore whatever we'll get here, :123, create a run the image for this one, right? And using this port 8080. And after this is the we are defining this in the Docker one variable. This is Docker run, right? And because this it is running in the different instance, different machines, so we need to use the SS agent here to connect to the server and passing this AWS instance. What is that AWS instance? Actually, when it is a credentials, you can see here when you are creating Docker C AWS instance, which we created the credential to connect into the AWS system, right? System. So this is the credentials name, and after that we are passing using the SSS -o strictly hotkey check. No, it means it is something we're connecting to server asking for yes or no like that. So we are saying that by passing the default no, so it will not ask any pop-up, right? And we are connecting to that server. This is Ubuntu, and this is a server IP, private IP of that server. Let's check what is the private IP for that. You can see for Docker client, this private IP is 172.31.93.167. So we need to update this IP, and we will pass this Docker run over here. We will run this command, which is variable is there, right? This command will run over here. So we need to do these steps, and after that, it will run container in the AWS server, right? So I hope it is Jenkins file is clear to all of you. So let's go to the PPT. We have done this thing, right? And after that, sorry. Yeah, I think one more thing is pending. Let me show you. We are using small project. We will create a WAR file for this. You can see main web apps, right? And here you can see index.html. So it is simple two-line commands. We are just welcome to AWS Jenkins Docker. So I'm just written that thing over there, and some command. One image I've added here is simple. So we will create a WAR file for this one, right? And I've added pom.xml over here. So it will create according to that, right? So I think we have done from this side. Now we need to create one pipeline job in the Jenkins. So let's create one pipeline project, and there are multiple stages which we will use, right? So let's move to the Jenkins and create a job, right? I'm selecting pipeline. Now in pipeline, we will use the pipeline script, right? And you can see that I've copied all those commands over here, total script, but we need to change here the IP, right? So let's change the IP here, then I will copy that code, right? So IP is private IP is this one. I've just copied a Docker client, and in the PPT, I'm just pasting here, right? Now I'm selecting all those code from here and pasting directly to the here pipeline, right? You can see node, it is showing. Let me increase it. I think it will be more clear to you. See, I will paste up. Now I will tell you how to generate this script, right? Okay. So here you can see this is pipeline syntax are there. Just go there and you can select GitHub, Git, right? And repository name, it will ask, right? So we need to copy the repository. Okay. This is my main, because I'm using the main as a branch. And it is asking for lots of credentials. This Git credentials I'm using here, right? And after that, when we'll generate the pipeline script, we will get same script which we are using here in this script, right? This one we'll get directly from here, right? So we can generate this script also. And I will tell you for this one also with credentials. Let me show you here again. With credentials, you can select here from the with credentials. You can see here I am selecting here from the with credentials, and now binding we will select here secret text, right? Now you can see here you are getting the Docker Hub, right? We have used here Docker Hub, right? So we will pass the variable Docker underscore hub your pass, right? Okay. Now we need to generate the pipeline script. Let me show you here and just generate it. You can see it is showing with credentials Docker Hub. You can see some blocks are required here. Now you can see in our here it is showing the same line, right? Now for login we need to use the Docker login command for login to the Docker, right? And pushing it we need to do it. Got it? And also we can check the SS agent also. Let me check whether it is available or not, SS agent, because you install the plugin, so we will get it here, right? After installation of plugin, we will get it. You will get those things here. So SS agent, you can see, we can get it here, right? So you can see we can already created that AWS instance Ubuntu, so we are getting it here. Right? Otherwise, you can create a credential from here also. You can see same window will pop up when we are creating the credentials, right? So let's generate the script. You can see SS agent AWS underscore instance some blocks, right? And same thing we have used here, right? Okay. Now we have done from this side, script side, right? So just I'm saving it and save, right? Now let's check in PPT, anything is pending or not. Now we have done this thing, right? And this pipeline stages we have created, right? Now we need to run it manually and we need to test it, right? So go back to the Jenkins server, just build now. And we are just creating the build and we will check whether it is generating correctly or not, right? Now open the console log for that, right? You can see here, it is taking from this GitHub repository, right? And after that, it start the building. pom.xml. Using pom.xml, it is downloading the files, jar files, right? Dependencies. Now, first time it will take time, and second time it will not take all those time for downloading the dependencies, right? So it is downloading the things, and you can see here it is showing build success. The second stage has been completed, and it is created a var file. This AWS Docker Amit 2 var. You can see something it created, right? Now Docker build command is executed here. See this one, and it is creating the Docker image, and after it is successfully built, you can see here, or build is successfully completed, right? With this name, this is Docker image, right? Now it is pushing to the Docker Hub. Now you can see this login succeed with the Docker Hub, right? And it is pushing to the Docker Hub, right? Now it is pushing, and after that we can see here it pushed successfully, right? After that pushing it, it is creating with connection with the AWS ECS login, right? So login success with that, and pushing this Docker image to the ECS. You can see ECR, right? So it is pushing here, and you can see it is pushed successfully to ECR, right? And after that, you can see here, now it is trying to run in the that Docker image into Ubuntu server at a Docker client machine, right? So it is executing the SS agent here, right? And you can see here, it is running this command, right? Could not resolve host name, something name or service not known, something, let me check. And it is something failed, right? You can see last step is failed. So I think you can see here, I'm able to see we have just one space we are getting here, right? When we are putting that name, I think one space is there. So due to this, it's just failed. I will just show you that thing here. We just missed out. When we have copied that 172 server here, it is showing one space, right? Now I'm removing this space here, right? But same thing, we need to do it here. I will show you at least. You can see all job is successful except only the containers things not able to connect to the other server. But we can check Docker. It is push into Docker Hub. So let's check in the Docker Hub side. I'm already logged in here. Docker Hub. Let's refresh it, right? You can see here it is showing Docker Jenkins image. It was 3 minutes ago here, and you can just click on it. You can see here. This is the first version I just committed here, right? You can see here. Now check same thing in Amazon ECR. When we will open it, you can see here one image has been pushed here, right? It's done because we have completed up to this place, but it is not anything we get over here, right? Let's check that thing also, okay? In the Ubuntu Docker client machine, we need to pick better I'm taking to sudo here instead of writing sudo every time, okay? Docker images, right? You can see nothing is there, right? And Docker ps -a, we don't have any container, right? So far because this is failed, right? So we have to correct this issue, configure it, and we will go to the pipeline and just remove that space. You can see one space is here, right? So I'm removing this space, apply and save. So I will run it again manually. Let's see. So it is started. You can see here Git checkout is success. It is creating the build using the Maven clean package. Second stage is completed. Build Docker image completed. Push Docker to Docker Hub is completed. Post images in ECR. It is completed. Now it is running container to the AWS server. Let's check. It is working still. It is, yeah, it's completed now, right? Let's see that. Let's see that console log. What is happening here, right? You can see here. You can see here. You can see here. It is created. Now it is connecting with SS agent, and it is connected, and finally it is success, right? So let's check everything. First, check on the ECS. I'm refreshing it. You can see here. Second, we got the second image here. Let's check on the Docker Hub side. I'm refreshing it. We're getting this second one, right? And now check on the server side here. Docker images. You can see we have got this image, second number, right? And you can see here Docker PS. You can see it is running in the 8080 port, right? So let's check, test the URL. You can see this URL we have written here, IP and 8080 port, right? So we need to take the public IP for that server. This is Docker client, right? Because we have installed a Docker container in the Docker client. So I'm copying this URL here and running it here, right? Rightly, and colon 8080, right? You can see we are able to see Tomcat because we have installed the Tomcat over here. And next, we need to pass our code path, which is this AWS Docker Amit2. So this one. We can find this thing on the Jenkins also. Here, when it is creating the build, it will give this name. See this one, war file, same name. Okay. Then I am see. This is showing this thing. This is running, right? So we have done it manually and we got it, right? Now in the next slide, we need to configure a webhook for automatic CI/CD deployment, right? So I'm going to the GitHub and we will configure that webhook, right? Webhooks. And in this GitHub, it is not configured so far. So I'm adding right? And we need to copy that in the notepad, and we will create the URL over here, right? And this IP, we need to add the Jenkins IP. This is Jenkins server. I am copying HTTPS, right? So this is our webhook URL. I'm copying it here and add webhook, right? Now we have created here. Now we need to enable this GitHub hook trigger in the our Jenkins job. So let's go here, dashboard. You can see configure, and in the build trigger, we need to enable this GitHub hook trigger, right? Apply and save. So we can start the deployment with automatic, but here you can see I'm opening that PPT. Okay, you can see here we are using the port 8080 port. When another image will use the same port, then we will get the error, right, in the container side. So what I am doing here in the Docker Hub side, in the Docker client, I am deleting only the container. This is Docker rm-f. This is the container name. I'm deleting it. So you can see here we don't have any container is running, but still we have image over there, right? So when we will automate it, it will create this container automatically, right? With the tag number 3, right? With tag 3. Let's do it. So for doing it, we need to take code in the local, and just I'm opening one more Git bash here. Going to the download folder, I'm cloning that repository in local, git clone, and you can see here clone. It is cloned here. Now I'm just logging. I think we have this project, right? Jenkins. Yeah, we got it. So let's clear it. Here we got it, right? So we will change some file from here. This one just created, and in the SRC main web apps index.html. Sorry. In the Notepad Plus, we are just add here today date, 11 December 20, right? I'm saving it Now I will go here. Now I will check the Git status. It is showing one file is modified. I am just committing it directly. Git commit -a-m commit update. You can see updated, right? It is committed. Now I am pushing the image, right? Git push. Now it is pushed to the main. Now our Jenkins will create a new deployment, right? Let's see whether it is created or not. It just started, you can see, right? And this checkout has been completed. Clean, Docker, push, ECS, everything is going on. See, now it is deploying in the AWS server with new container, right? It is done. So let's test directly what happened here. Okay. So I'm just refreshing this page. You can see this one is added here over here. So this has been changed with it using the automatic CI/CD pipeline. And also we can check the Docker PS, then Docker images. I will show you. It will show the two images here. Just you can see 48 seconds ago. And Docker run, Docker PS, you can see here. It will also show just 45 seconds ago, right? Same. If you will not delete that thing, so we need to change the port, right? Something. So far we can run that application, multiple application, right? But same port, only one port, we can run only one container, right? So you can see it is showing over here, right? And same thing I will show you in the Docker Hub side also. I think Docker Hub is here. See, we have 1.2.3 version here. See, third version just 2 minutes ago. And in the ECR, I'm just refreshing it. Right? You can see it is showing third image, right? So going back to the PPT, so we have completed this thing. I have done this thing, right? And we have tested successfully here with the new changes. And this is the last video in the series. So we have done my changes, my videos, and everything in this series. I have total 8 video I created over here. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Thanks for watching it.